Here are some things I want y'all, it's a couple of phrases I want you to just get really comfortable with, okay? The first one is, how are you doing? The second one is, what can I get you? Third one is, what do you need? How are you doing? What can I get you? What do you need? These three questions can help you to orient yourself towards your role as the non-baby carrying partner. All right. The person who's building this human, they're going to have a lot of different needs. Sometimes they're going to know what they are. Sometimes they're not going to know what they are. Sometimes they're going to have like specific cravings for something. Sometimes they're just going to be feeling like they want something that they don't have, or they might feel just uncomfortable and not know that they want something. So making sure that basic needs are taken care of is going to be part of your job. I want to remind you again, this is not some sort of paternalistic obligation. All right, so we're not trying to patronize our partners. What we're trying to do is be anticipatory of their needs and listen and communicate with them, and then follow through in helping to get those needs met. Remember, as the pregnancy continues to move forward, they'll have less and less resources to bring to bear for taking care of themselves, for taking care of the baby, for taking care of you, or for taking care of anybody else. All right, and that's just natural. So you need to be picking up slack, and you probably should do that ahead of time so that you're always ahead of the curve. So figuring out what's needed in the moment is going to be a big skill set, and honestly, it's something that, from my experience and what I've heard from other folks, it's something that's really appreciated if you do it right. During this time, there's all kinds of symptoms that come of the first trimester, first 3 months, and they may start early, they may start towards the end of the first trimester, they might not happen at all, they might be light and they might be severe. But understanding how your partner is doing is going to help you and inform you on how you need to support them. I want you to think about what kind of needs they have in that moment. And one way to anticipate is just to know the symptoms. One of the symptoms that is fairly common with people who are pregnant is to have a taste in their mouth that's metal. It's a metal taste, and it makes it so that food doesn't taste good, and it actually makes their mouth just not taste good, and it's constant, and it can go on for weeks or months. It's not necessarily just limited to the first trimester. This is related to the craving stuff that you hear about in popular media. For instance, when you hear about people who are pregnant who are really craving things like pickled foods or citrus, these are foods that will tend to cut down on that metal taste and help them to actually taste the food, so wanting ketchup with the vinegar and pickles on the sandwich, or wanting sweet candies that are lemon or lime tasting, those kind of things might be really nice things to have in the house and ready in case the metal taste is coming. Another remedy to that is ginger. So having things like ginger ale and ginger beer, and non-alcoholic obviously, but ginger-based things, ginger chews and treats, can help with that mouth nastiness that some people experience. Other pieces are around the nausea. How about making sure that medications that help with nausea that are also safe for pregnant people are available and easy and readily, there for your partner or the person that you're working with at this. You might also make it easier for people to get to the bathroom and to, if they need to vomit, making the space cleaner and easier for them to use. Something you might want to get in your mind is don't play around the restroom. If your pregnant person needs to go, for whether they need to go for whatever reason, you need to get out the way, you need to make it available, and make sure that they never have to feel like there's an emergency and they can't make it. That's also when you go out places, making sure you're cognizant. Where are the restrooms at? How long is this drive going to be? How long is this walk going to be? Where are the places, where are the pit stops to help your partner feel more comfortable and feel taken care of? Other pieces are, around sleep, because sleep can be interrupted. Making sure that any kind of needs that your partner has around sleep is facilitated. One of the big ones is just making sure your partner eats. Different people have different reactions to their early pregnancy. Some people lose their appetite. Some people are really voracious and hungry. But either way, you making sure that the food is there when they need it. The snacks, the food, the dinners, the lunches, even doing some reminders. You might set reminders on the phone or something like that to help them remember that they need to be eating. It's an important time for them to be keeping themselves, strong and healthy. And here's some piece of information that you may or may not know, but when the fetus is in that early stage, a lot of that time it's got its own source of energy. Almost kind of like it's not a yolk, but it's kind of like that. It's important to make sure your partner's getting nourished. And as I say that, I also want to just kind of give you a little connect there. Make sure that you're not conflating the baby with your partner. They're two different people. They're housed in the same person, but that is your partner. Okay, they need to come first. They're before the baby, and that needs to be made clear to them at all times, because they're not just some incubator. So keep that in mind as you kind of move forward and think about, making sure that their needs get met.